Hey, everybody. This is Jeremy with the Beehive Biker Podcast. We are here today on September 7th at the Peach Days Motorcycle Show here in Brigham City, Utah. Zach, we made it.
This place is freaking popping, man.
We also have Michaela here.
Hi.
Standing in as our third host today.
Oh, that's great.
We're
trying to do a live event here, and we're trying to get people off the streets. We've yet to have somebody actually come up to us, though. So,
yep, we're gonna be grabbing people. We're gonna be grabbing people that are part of organizing this event. We're gonna probably see Kelly back on from the other day, and then we have a beard competition going on, and then a couple sponsors I think we'll invite on over. Other than that, we're just gonna be trying to grab as many bikers as we can from the show who have brought their bikes in and see what they have to say.
here we go.
So here's our intro, and we're going to move on to our first guest. All right, everybody. Our first guest here, Mayor of Brigham City, DJ Bott.
How are you? Of course, you said my name, DJ Bott, which is fine. You worried about slaughtering it, and that's okay, too. Growing up, I never had my correct name on my sports jersey. It was always Bott, Bolts, Butts, anything but Bott, so I'm used to it. So I'm the mayor of Brigham City, have been for 3 years now, so I'll be up for re-election next year. I'm going to run again because I love being mayor. So
Perfect.
So what does it mean to be mayor here in Brigham City? What does it entail?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of bigger cities, you'll have a full-time mayor, and they'll get paid to be full-time for a full-time job like that. Here, it's a part-time mayor, and so I have 1 day a week that I'm in the office from about 7 in the morning till 6, 7 at night, and that's when I do staff meetings, and we do a lot of planning and correlating throughout the week for the upcoming week. Other than that, I just come up for a couple hours a day for meetings or go to lunch. Being mayor, though, this is a county seat, so it's the biggest city in Box Elder County.
Yeah.
And with that, there's a lot of other things within the county, like the County Organization of Governments, the COG, that I'm a part of, and they've voted me, voted me to be the chairman of that. So I'm the chairman of that. And then we also have a county water conservancy district that we sit on, that I get to sit on, and it's representative of different counties or different cities that have utilities like Brigham City does. We have our own water company and our own power company. And then it's the different private utilities out in the valley that have come together, and they're not necessarily governmental, but they provide the water for the different
areas,
different spotted groupings of cities,
right?
And I happen to be the chair of that as well. So I've learned a lot about water the last few years.
more than you thought you'd ever need
that, power, and sewer. I don't know that I'll ever have a use for the knowledge when I'm done, but yes.
That's good to know right now, right?
Yes, no, it really is. So, other than that, being mayor, what I find, I guess, really become addicted to is looking where are we going to be in 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I found that when I'm in other towns in Utah or I'm out on vacation, I find that I'm looking at the way they're set up, what works in their town. Maybe even more importantly, what do I absolutely hate about that other town?
Right.
I love Ogden, but I hate Riverdale Road.
Avoid it like the plague.
It's just, and the thing is I'm like best friends with Riverdale city administrator, and he didn't do it, but just as it's developed, and he didn't do it. I think that as far as the on and off of Riverdale, we can learn a lot of what not to do as far as setbacks of businesses and stuff like that.
For sure.
Maybe they couldn't get away from it, but here in Brigham where we got ground, we certainly don't have to do it that way to make sure that we can get around. So
are you originally from Brigham City, or are you a transplant?
So my name is, the Bott name got here in 1875. My great-great-grandfather, he owned the headstone business here. That's what I'm in. My career is making headstones. And so I'm the 5th generation in that business.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
But I actually grew up in Davis County, Bountiful, Kaysville, Layton. And I didn't get up here till 85. My sophomore year in high school, we moved up here, and I've been here ever since.
There you go.
Yeah, I love the town.
We're both transplants. Our wives are all natural.
Really?
Yeah.
Box Elder County girls.
Yeah, my wife is from Southern California, the San Fernando Valley. So
she's the transplant.
She's the transplant. We go back now. She'd never go back. That place is just a dumpster fire. So
that's what I think is so funny about people that live in Brigham. They're either like from Brigham or like their spouse is from Brigham.
That's a great comment.
Yeah.
Great comment. So, Yeah, no, my first experience being in Brigham, I remember it had to have been 1979, 1980. I think we were going up camp and stopped here to just look at the town or maybe some relatives. I was too young to remember. But we'd just gone through 1976, which was the bicentennial for the United States. So every fire hydrant in town was painted red, white, and blue and looked like a little dude, like a patriotic soldier.
Oh, there you go.
And that's my first memory of Brigham City, and I just love it. In fact, I'm
cool.
always asking my public works if we can do it again.
And they're like, no, they got to be red.
Actually, they said I could do it, but now there's a standard with the very top of the fire hydrant has to be painted a certain color for the volume of water.
Really?
Oh, it's an
They know that it's like
indicator.
1,000 gallons a minute or 15,000, but anything below it, you can do whatever. And so we may do that because
That would be awesome.
It'd be a really cool identity.
That's
I
really
think.
funny
yeah.
that
Yeah.
you bring that up because that's what I do for work. I do fire alarm, fire sprinkler,
Really?
fire
Okay.
extinguisher inspections, and hydrants as well.
That's outstanding.
It's like once you start working on it, you just can't not notice.
No,
You know,
it's
like-
addictive. No, it's true.
I'm sure, like with what you said, being mayor, and you have all those different aspects you're
Uh-huh.
having to deal. It's like you go into a store, you go into a city, you can't help but notice all the
No,
things.
you're
that,
right.
like-
You're right. Trying to improve all the time.
So you've been here as mayor for 3 years.
I was
which-
on the city council for 2 terms before, so 8
Okay.
years before, and now I'm in my 3rd year. And then this time next year, I'll be running for re-election. I've already decided to.
Gotcha. Well, awesome. 3 years of picking motorcycles then with the
It's
show.
been a lot. Actually, probably a little longer than that because at one point I was the president of the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh,
and
which
that's
they
when-
have a choice
Oh,
to.
Yeah, that's
okay.
when Kelly brought this up. But yeah, I've been actually involved. This is the first year that I haven't done the awards for the motorcycle show with the
Oh.
headstones. I used to do stone
Right.
plaques.
Right.
But at some point you know when you're an artist, and I'm not an artist. Don't take that wrong. I am not an artist. I could be a great tattoo artist. I'm a fantastic tracer, but I cannot draw from scratch. But you get tired of your own work, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so I told Kelly, hey, let's get somebody else to do the plaques because I'm getting tired of seeing my own stuff. So-
Right.
You're like, I want to hand out something that somebody else made.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So what are you looking for when you're looking at these motorcycles? What catches your eyes?
Well, that's actually a really good question. Whether it's motorcycles or cars, because I also do the car show down there. But I am, and I don't know what it is, I'm really drawn to rat rods.
Okay.
And
Oh, okay.
rat roddy stuff. So, like this Yamaha that's right across here, it's got my eye. I did not vote for it because there's one behind it that I like. But I like the bigger ones. I like stuff that's maybe nostalgic. But it's hard for me not to just award for the rat roddy stuff.
Yeah.
I just dig it. Just give me some junk that rolls. I love it.
Now
Hey,
we
there's
know what we need to set up for next year.
Exactly.
There's a couple of those around here. There's some ones that I'm like, holy cow, those things run. But then there's
Well,
some
they're
other.
super creative, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the point. Is that they're taking parts from cars and whatever else, and they're just making it run down the road. It's awesome.
It's crazy what a little imagination, some tools, and
You're
some
right.
scrap metal can do for a motorcycle.
With that said, last year was a paint job that caught my eye. That's what I gave it to last year. This year, I went with something clean. It's just white, has a fishtail exhaust pipe, and yeah, that really caught my eye this year. So,
There you go.
I don't know. Zach's not a fishtail guy.
well, I don't know that I'm a fishtail guy, but that caught my eye.
Yeah. I'm not a big fishtail guy. I just don't really like the fit and finish of them. But
They're really
it's
popular.
It's
No, I
all
get it.
just preference, you know.
Oh yeah.
They almost have a nostalgia to them, and maybe that's
Right.
why everyone's gravitating to it now. Is
Yeah.
that nostalgia, like the 55
Yep.
wings and stuff like that on the cars? So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've noticed that there's quite a few rolling in the Vicla or like the Mexicana style
Yeah.
motorcycles going around right
It's
now.
true.
I saw a group that pulled in. They had some really nice custom paint jobs on them. So
And actually, sorry, I cut you off.
no,
Go
you're
ahead.
good.
You're
I was
good.
just gonna say like. Hopefully we can get some recording done, and then I want to walk around and see what we
Oh,
got.
absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, no, I like it. The louder they are, the better. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a Sportster a few years ago, and I had some custom pipes made out in Corinne, and they were just shorty, and I love
Rowdy.
Yeah.
Big old
When these
rowdy.
guys all start up at the same time, oh, yeah, that's almost pornographic is what that is.
Ear porn.
That's what I'm looking forward to because last year we had to take off early, and so
Yeah.
I didn't get the opportunity to witness it, but I've heard that it's just
It sends chills
amazing.
up and down your
Yeah,
spine.
that's
Yeah.
why they call it the chill up. Yep. You say you used to ride. What's going on? You still riding?
No, well, I had a little Sportster that I had for a couple of years, but the problem, with Harleys, at least way back when, maybe not nowadays, but if you don't ride them enough, then they don't run right.
Right.
And I wasn't riding it enough, and so I'm going to wait until I can ride it enough, and then I'm going to get me another bike. So
Makes sense.
What decides that? What are you waiting for?
probably
Not being the mayor.
no, the mayor has nothing to do with it, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to get the trigger. Probably closer to retirement age, but the truth of it is when you're self-employed, you never retire, right?
Yeah.
So
I get that.
at some point, I'm just going to have to do it. I don't have the support of my wife, but she's not the decision maker in that, and she knows that. But she does not support
She
my
loves
desire.
She loves you enough to let you do it.
That's maybe not even that, but she loves me enough to
tolerates
tolerate it.
Well, that's good. There's some guys and gals that can't say that. They want, but they can't have.
It's true. It's true. But I know I won't be buying anything new.
Yeah.
Because I like the old stuff.
Yeah.
You like wrenching?
Hey, it's a lot of fun. I do like wrenching. I don't like it right now because I don't. It's easier for me to pay somebody to do it because I'm
Right.
still working, so I can make money and then just pay somebody.
Yep.
But yeah, no. I guess if I had my dream, I'd probably have my own fab shop and pound out some fenders, and stuff. Remember the biker builds on Discovery
Yeah.
Channel?
Oh, yeah.
Addicted big time, big time.
Keyword dream. Like that's why I'm always like I gotta like bridle my passions because I'm like, well, I could be doing this. I
Yeah.
could be doing that. Like.
You're-
If I had a garage, I could be I could be painting this thing.
It's true. But then we wouldn't be married. We'd be broke.
Yep.
We-
wouldn't have the garage because I wouldn't have the house.
Exactly. You're exactly right. So,
Oh man, yeah. What's your favorite part of Peach Days? What do you think gets people coming back every year?
honestly, I think, and I know that I'm in a bubble. And I love my Brigham City bubble. I get it. I'm in a bubble. But I would say just the family atmosphere of Brigham City. I mean, and Peach Days in particular. I mean, I don't know that there's any festival around that has everything, a little bit of everything. We got a car show, we got a bike show, we got a carnival, we got 2 parades.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like we have a little bit of everything. But I guess what I really like is Peach Days, as I've lived here, you realize that family reunions, high school reunions, all center around this weekend.
Right.
Everybody's coming home. They're having their 40th, their 50th, their 10th.
Yeah.
They're having their big Jensen reunions. They're all on this day, and I just think it's still a great family city, great and great ambiance. So the downtown, and I love that Kelly's kept the bike show right on downtown and not somewhere where, it'd be real easy. We got two really high trafficked roads just to the south of us with big parking lots.
Yep.
It'd be super simple to put it down there just for the amount of foot traffic it would generate. But no, bring it right up here in the center of town and have the nostalgia. So I love it.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm sure these businesses right here really appreciate it, so that they're not everybody's
Who's going to
getting
listen to
pulled
this
away.
podcast?
Whoever can,
Anybody and everybody.
anybody we can.
I think if you polled these businesses, you'd probably go 50-50 on loving this and not loving this. And I don't get it, but that's just the individuals owning the businesses.
yeah.
It's really weird to me not to be super uber supportive for this thing, but it's weird to run into people and they're here. But yeah, so that's a little weird.
I think that's the same with everything, though. I mean, whatever you do, it could be 50-50. Some people are going to love it, and some people are going to hate it.
You're spitting truth now, so.
So is the motorcycle show getting bigger every year, do you think? Is it something you want to see get bigger? Or?
That's been Kelly's goal. I think when it started as a Harley show.
Right.
And so back then, you still had the biker image. I don't think that that's predominant in a bike show anymore.
Right.
It's sprinkled in between. Now that's why it's a custom bike show. So any bike, you can see there was a moped here, not a moped, the scooter.
Just left.
Yeah, just left. I think when this started, if they would have showed up, I don't think they would have left.
Yeah.
But I think there's that. Yeah, I think that I think it's cyclical. This year, it seems like it's down. I think we probably had a third more bikes last year, and I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah,
because the weather's
Yeah.
amazing.
Right.
It's 85, but I think the UV's up because you go up there, you're getting burnt.
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh.
You're
That's
getting
why I was
burned.
like, I'm glad we got this little
Yeah.
pop-up because we'd be
But no,
dying.
I'd love to see it go from block to block right to the end there. I think that'd be awesome. I think it brings I think it adds an element, the cars and the bikes, that maybe generally speaking, the slow, sleepy people of Brigham City may not be used to.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to have, I hate using this word because it's a woke word, but it's diversity.
Yeah,
Now,
right.
I'm not talking about diversity the way we're talking about it nowadays.
Right.
But for like the old people that grew up here and they don't drink, they don't smoke and stuff like, hey, it's nice to have a bike show and have a community here that maybe doesn't have their same beliefs all over the place.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Right.
Then they can live with each other and still get along. So
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago, man. We filled up that whole middle section.
You're absolutely
Like,
right.
it
I
was
remember that
crazy.
too. Yep.
And I think it had even rained that morning, so I was worried about people going and not coming by,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. And, just having it under the arch, this year Brigham City spent $75,000 and it just got redone.
Really?
The same guy that repainted Wendover Willie repainted this sign, and then we went so it was incandescents,
All LED now?
like 1920. Then it went to neon. The neons would go out with the temperature fluctuations.
Right,
Now it's
I
just the
always-
rope LED, and it's amazing.
Right. I'd always joke with my wife during the winter when we drive through because
Yeah.
the neon needs that temperature to keep going.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I love living in Brig. I love living in Brig. Or
Iham is the best city.
Iham is the best.
You're absolutely right. Now, so we're excited about that. And
Yeah.
anytime we can get stuff underneath the arch, the Capitol Theater right there, they just redid all of that. It's looking amazing.
On the inside?
Yeah, and I mean, Brigham City has a facade grant, and we put about $110,000 in it a year. And so between 2 blocks down and 2 blocks this way, the core of the old part of the city, we will grant up to $10,000 per applicant in a matching fund for facade grants.
Oh, awesome.
And so a lot of these guys have taken advantage of that, and there's a lot of reinvestment that's coming down in here, which is really nice. And I don't know why, other than maybe the economy, but
Right.
considering what the economy's been the last 3 years, I'm looking forward to maybe something different the next 4 years,
Yeah.
like it
Yeah.
was 7 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I love how Brigham has that hometown feeling. Like, I mean, Logan, they've put a lot of money into their main street, their classic
yeah.
main street, and I'm glad to see that happening here in Brigham because I love being able to come and walk down Main Street with my wife and my daughter and go into shops and support local businesses. And that's just something that I don't think big cities have as much. They're the big corporations just kind of flood out the small businesses, and that's
If it's
awesome.
not that, it's just the people themselves. We ran into discovered a book 2 years ago. It's called 13 Ways to Kill Your Community. And it's written by a Canadian, which I know is an oxymoron, but he's super smart. And what he did is he used to be a high school teacher, and he got tired of getting the pat answers. Hey, what can we do to stay off drugs type of a thing.
Right.
And one day he had an epiphany coming to work. This is in his foreword of the book. And he says, I'm going to ask a different question. So he got in there and he says, if you want to become a drug dealer, what's the first thing you do? And so we approached it that way and identified the things to become the bad thing, and then said, okay, let's do everything we can to avoid those things you just identified that'll take you to the bad spot.
Wow.
And so that's what this book is. And so there's a shop local, there's a don't paint, and ignore youth, don't listen to your seniors. And we're going through that as a city, and we're doing what can we do, or what have we done, what have we been doing as a city to kill our community? And we've been doing an about face on a lot of things.
right.
So yeah, it's pretty nice. But I only say that because you mentioned Logan. I think years ago, if they would have been a little more concerned, and this, I'm not in Logan nor part
Right.
of their government, but now in 2024, you can say, man, they should have developed 1000 West
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Jeez.
Right.
Yes.
But at that same time, a long time ago, those farmers would have said, yeah, screw you guys, you ain't coming
Yep.
down here. So
No kidding.
it's a real tenacious balance that you have to.
That kind of led into my next question with there's been such explosive growth over there. Is that something we want over here in Brigham? Is that something we kind of have to balance and not let it run rampant? But
That's an interesting question. I think as a city, if you're not growing, then you're dying. But with that being said, I don't think you want it to explode, not because you don't want the growth, because it brings in the money and the tax base and stuff like that, but you can't manage it, which you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we know that we look at Brigham City as the prettiest girl at the dance as far as growth goes, and so we're being really super picky on the businesses we bring here. If you're not a good fit for Brigham City, if you're not paying 150% of the county average in wages, we don't want you. Go to Reno, go to Mesquite, go wherever. We don't want you.
Yeah, no kidding.
But what we do have is we have our own power company, and we have boatloads of water. Brigham City and Cache Valley, Cache County are just anomalies in Utah for water.
Really?
Yeah, because we're at the end of the Bear Lake.
Yep.
The drainage out of the Uintas, it all ends up right down here. Comes out of Bear Lake, into Cache, into Box Elder, into the Great Salt Lake. And we know that, and so it makes us different. And so it hasn't been me, but it's up to me, stewardship-wise, to make sure I keep planning the way the people before me did, building reservoirs and making sure that we have that asset taken care of. And so we're looking for businesses that aren't 50 million gallon a year water users. We'd rather have power users, which is a pain in the butt because power's become so hard to get right now. Mm-hmm. But you got to manage it. You got to plan for it. That's why we're looking 5, 10. It might not even be that long. We're actually looking 2 to 5, to be honest, with road planning. In fact, this month, at the end of this month, the future annexation line of Brigham City. So you got Brigham City that's already corporate, and then the legislature a few years ago made all the cities say, okay, where do you want your city to finally end up 100 years from now? That boundary, we're inviting all of those property owners, if they come in, to come in and just talk. We're not annexing them, but we're saying, listen, because this is what we're seeing. We're seeing farm ground out here that's undeveloped. They're getting offers for $150,000 to $200,000 an acre.
Yeah.
And everybody in the county, I get it, they got rose-colored glasses on, and they should because they're farmers. That's their tradition and their family. But if somebody comes up and you got 100 acres, and somebody said, I want to give you $200,000 an acre, there ain't nobody that wants to be farming anymore.
All right.
That's a guaranteed. And that's what we're seeing that now in Box Elder County, especially around Brigham City. And so I'm bringing everybody in and saying, listen, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. You're going to get a cash offer for all your ground, and you're going to sell it. What do you want? Or your neighbor is. Let's put up the future annexation of Brigham City, and let's say, okay, I'd love to have housing, or I don't really want housing. Let's put up a big manufacturing plant so I don't worry about people. Mm-hmm. Or I think that there's going to be an off-ramp off I-15 here, so let's get some commercial here, and let's just try and pre-zone it. And see what happens. So
help plan for the future.
Yeah, help plan. Yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, Mayor, for coming on the podcast and talking with us. Get our listeners to know a little more about Brigham City as a whole, this event, and what to look forward if they do come to visit.
Absolutely. And if you're only listening, come up here and see it.
Yeah.
Right. Seriously.
Don't. Yeah. If you missed out this year, you better be here next year.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
So, all right. Thank you.
Thanks, fellas.
All right. We're back with our next guest, Darla Reed. What was it?
And she's from American Family Insurance.
American Family Insurance.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. So we wanted to let our listeners know a little bit about what your guys' organization here locally does for the Peach Days event. I see that you guys are part of the beard competition that Kelly's talked so much about.
Yeah, so about 4 years ago, actually, 2020, I want to say, my boss, his hashtag is the bearded agent. And he's like, I just barely gotten hired on with the guy. And like 2 weeks before Peach Days, he's like, I want to do a beard competition at Peach Days. And I said, next year, right? Like, well, let's do that next year. And he's like, yeah, okay. And we just got barely finished planning like a whole like pool party for our client appreciation, all this stuff. So he goes and talks to Kelly.
Of course.
And Kelly's like, we're doing it now.
Kelly's the man to get things done.
He is. I mean, 2 weeks, seriously, 2 weeks. He set the whole thing up. Logo, got all the word out and everything. It was awesome, and he's just kind of taken us under his wing and made a part of the Harley and custom bike show, and it's just been a blast.
I think that's so cool because when we had Kelly on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, he was saying how the event itself happened in 2 weeks, the first year. And
really?
then with you guys in 2 weeks, that's another thing. and he came on, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago. So
Yep.
we have 1 week on you guys.
Yep.
But we were on the podcast talking to him, and we're like, well, what if we go to the event and set up something and record? And like, it's really bare bones. Like, if you're actually here and see us, we've got our pop-up tent, we've got our little sign, and our little foldable card table recording. So it's
Yeah,
real
but
bare bones.
Zach's got his Harley Davidson cowboy hat on.
My cowboy snapback. Yep.
I mean, it makes it so legit.
That's got to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Is a cowboy hat built in the frame of a snapback hat.
Yep. I saw him online and figured that would be the first thing that I bought. I was like, this thing is great.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
So, break it down for us. What did it take to plan that event in 2 weeks for that first year?
Well, to be honest, I didn't do anything. I said no. I wasn't doing it. So Kelly did it.
Kelly was like, no. No is not an answer. That sounds like it.
Yeah. He was like, we're doing it. And I was like, I can't.
So what does it consist of? What events do you have? What categories, I should say?
Yeah, so we've got best groomed, freestyle, longest, best mustache, best goatee, and our favorite, peach fuzz.
Peach
Yeah,
fuzz.
there you go.
And why did you guys start with peach fuzz? I think Kelly mentioned it, but I just want to hear it from you guys.
Oh, do I know?
So I feel
I
like
want
he
to say it
told
has
us.
to do with peach days, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but I think that there's a local boy named Ethan,
Oh, yeah.
and Ethan wanted to compete. I think is what it seems like. That's
But
what Kelly.
he could never actually grow.
Yeah, so that's
anything.
why they wanted to have that as his a section that people could
So he
be part
won, not last year, but the year before.
of. Right.
And then I want to say the first year that we had somebody, we had a kid draw it in with marker. And that was our
That's
winner.
fun.
So what does freestyle mean?
You know, it could be anything. We have people do like wild stuff for the
Oh, like-
competition, and it's fun. Last year we had a gentleman enter 3 times. He left and come back, and he's like, "How long do I have before you leave? Because I've got another one planned." And he comes back, and he's got this like Davy Jones locker look. He's got this beard,
Really?
down to the middle of his stomach, and like groomed to the hilt. It was cool. So yeah, he had a few categories. I can't remember which one was which, but yeah, freestyle could be anything. If you don't feel like you fit in the groomed category, you could go freestyle. If you don't feel like you've got a goatee, but you're kind of like halfway in the middle, you could go freestyle.
Gotcha. I guess I was wondering if it was because I've seen some beard competitions where they like style it into a giant windmill. Like, have you seen those?
Oh,
They've got like
that would be awesome.
It literally, I mean, if it was straight down, it'd probably go to their belt buckle. But they have groomed it in a manner that has got it going out the side of their face, and then it's literally a Swiss windmill out of their beard hair.
That's amazing. I will say we did have a gentleman today, and he had it. He was shaved like right down his chin, but he had the beard. I don't know how to explain it. Like on either side,
Like-
straight out.
Okay,
Really?
like a,
Red beard, straight out.
what would you call that, Zach? Like
I don't even know what you
like
would
If you-
call
like
it.
you've
lamb
seen the
chops,
mu-
like
the
lamb
music-
chops, but they went straight out.
If you've seen the movie Sonic,
Sonic, you
the
look like
Hedgehog?
Dr. Eggman.
Yes, that was it.
You'd be like, oh, we got Dr. Eggman here.
Yeah, maybe like
Red
mutton
beard.
chops. I would maybe say that.
Yeah, like if it wasn't styled out, I've seen that where it's like it's basically everything but the mouth, or maybe everything but the chin, but then it's straight
Yes.
out. And that's crazy.
He wasn't sure which category to enter. He's like, does
Like
that count as
freestyle.
mustache? I don't know.
It's all one giant mustache. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
So, did you start out with that many categories at the first year, or was it just kind of like one? Or
We did. We had all of these categories. We've talked about maybe adding like an all natural kind of a category, but we haven't ever like committed to adding that extra category or not. What other categories would you add?
Well, another one I've seen that I think is really funny is that, like, ladies not growing beards, but what they do is for example, they would like make a false beard out of ornaments almost. Like they just who can have the most wild
Oh,
fake beard.
yes.
I think it'd be fun.
So fake beard.
Fake beard
Like
category.
kind of a
Interesting.
creativity beard.
Yeah.
Faux beard.
I mean, we do say with our peach fuzz, get creative. It could be
Oh, yeah.
anything. So I think last year we had a lady win.
Really?
She entered, didn't do, like prepare or anything fun, like ornaments and fake beard.
I think it'd be
But
fun.
she won. She won.
That's awesome.
Or if they use their hair to create a
Oh,
beard
there
and
you
wrap
go.
it around their face.
Oh, I like it. I like where you're going.
We're gonna have to think about this. So what else do you guys have? Do you guys sell merchandise for this event or?
Yeah, we've got stickers, magnets, T-shirts, and it all goes to the charity that we've got selected. So this year it's the Children's Justice Center,
Right.
and it's really a great cause. We've got some representation here with us today that can tell a little bit more about that. But
That's
it's a
awesome.
great
Awesome.
organization.
How many people do you usually have competing? Like how many?
Well, we do get multiple registrations, so you can register in
Oh,
multiple
okay.
categories. I think the most we've had, and it's grown every year, I think we've had about 55, 60,
Really?
somewhere
Wow.
around there. I'd love to get us to 100,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
and really
That'd be
I'd
a
love
big
to
deal.
see us get even bigger. So just
Yeah.
every year, get the word out more and more.
You know, what'd be really funny is if somebody signed up for all 6 events, and they started off with longest, and then they just trimmed it down so that they were best groomed.
Oh no!
And then they took it and made their windmill out of their freaking beard, and then chopped it off into a mustache and a goatee, and then a mustache, and then to see how many events they could win.
Oh,
that would be
man.
crazy.
Those, you just can't do that with the longest, though. Have you seen
Those ones
these
take too
guys
much
with
commitment.
The longest, I mean, they're like,
Yeah.
past their belt buckle. I mean, we've had some really long ones enter. I can't even imagine being like, okay, shave it off for the peach fuzz.
Yeah, that's oh my god. Yeah,
You've
that would
been
be
growing
hard.
it for 15 years. That's, shave it off.
Commit. Way to commit.
It'd be fun. I think it'd be funny. But you're right. Probably not super likely that some guy that's been growing it for 15 years wants to be chopping it down. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's always so I used to have a really big beard, and I would eventually just I love my big beard, but I just need some change.
Yeah.
So currently,
My husband says it gets hot.
I mean, kinda.
I
just-
wouldn't know because I can't grow one. So.
I liked having a long beard because it was easier to groom than a short beard. Because short beard, there's no weight behind it. It's just if you sleep on it funny, you're gonna have bad
Rogue.
beard. Just going up the side of your face. But I don't know. I'm hoping when I finish my contract with the National Guard, I can grow my beard back out.
Oh, very
and then
good,
I can
very
really
good.
compete. Maybe I'll have a mustache ready for next year.
Oh yeah, and Zach over here, he
Zach,
can
we
come
need to
over
get
and
him
do
in.
the peach fuzz. Mister, I can't grow a beard. That's what
With
it's
my
there
nothing.
for.
He's kind of got a goatee going on if he just trimmed it on the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got more than my nephew, so that's good.
How old's your nephew, though?
3?
He just graduated high school.
Oh, okay. Is he competing in the Peach Fuzz?
He's not.
Oh, what the heck?
I know, he's
Come
not even here.
on.
Oh, okay. Well, can't compete if you're not here.
Down south. Dang it.
Darn it.
Well, right on. Thank you, Darla, for coming on the podcast and introducing your guys' event. We hope to hear more from you guys soon.
Heck yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
All right. Here we do. My goodness. I can't talk.
It's been a long day.
It's the heat.
It's the heat. All right. We got Sean Platt.
There you go.
There we go. I can say names, apparently.
Yeah. Can't say any
Um,
other words, but
Sean's been a good friend of mine for several years. Grew up with his kids, and he has been an amazing friend and supporter of everything I've ever done. Sean actually flew down to San Antonio to be at my graduation from combat medic school.
Oh, that's cool.
And
It was good.
and
I was glad to be there for it.
took me and a couple friends out to lunch and took us to Buc-ee's. Like, you can't go without going to Buc-ee's.
You know, I mean, I know how it is after Army food for months on end. You know, like, let's go get some good barbecue or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's here at the motorcycle show and is here to talk with us. How long you been riding motorcycles, Sean?
Oh, about 200 or 300 years.
300?
I started right after the dinosaurs died off.
That was only 300 years ago?
Yeah.
Man.
Right after they died, and then they put a golden spike in the railroad.
Did you see, were you here for the parade?
No, I didn't make it for that. I was.
No, they had this, there's a monument they're putting in for Golden Spike.
Okay.
It's literally a giant golden spike that's got all these like sculptures in it. So it's got
Really?
like pioneers and
Oh, really?
Native
tall is
American. I mean, the one they had on the back of the trailer was like 30 feet long.
Holy crap.
And it was only part of the spike, so I don't know if it was even all of it. So
So what are they gonna like?
yeah, I
Mount
think,
it up erect at the spot where they
Yeah.
actually drill the golden spike? Or?
No, I think that one's still there or whatever, but I don't know if it's going to be. My word is that it's going to be across from the bird refuge.
Oh, really?
You ever been out there?
Right down
past
the road.
Corinne? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting, but I was like, what the heck is that thing?
That's huge.
That's wild.
It was like 6 feet wide. It was huge.
Holy crap.
I might be exaggerating a little bit,
Right.
but it was at least like 20 feet long, 4 or 5 feet. Like, it was big.
Dang. Sounds like just a freaking enclosed trailer.
Right. They should seriously take it out there to the actual historic spot and stand it up so it's a big marker.
Yeah. Seriously.
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if you know, if you go out there to the national, it's a national park.
Yeah.
Right.
In the military, you can get your free national park pass renewed out there.
Oh, really? I need to get one.
Yeah. I found out today, though, I mean, not today, last week, if you're still active, you can only get an annual.
Oh, really?
If you retire, you can get a permanent national park
Really?
pass for free for military. So,
That's awesome. Get out there.
Don't know if I'm going to last that long.
well, I do have enough years for retirement, but I have.
You're still in?
I'm in the IRR, in active reserve.
I was like, I could have sworn you were getting out. but-
Well, I was, but I have a hard time saying goodbye. So being in the IRR, I can still be in. I have an active duty card, active card. But
Gotcha.
if I want to get out, I can step out anytime. But I just renewed it. You got to do it annually, a renewal every year.
Oh, okay.
And I just turned in. They just signed a little paper, email it back. Just took care of it. So I'm still there for another year. And all it does is give you a little extra points for retirement.
Gotcha.
You get like 15 points towards your retirement total points,
Oh, okay.
which is part of the convoluted retirement factor. The reserves.
Welcome to the military.
Yeah, the reserves and guard have a crazy retirement system too. It's based on like total number of good years, total number of points, and your highest rank for 3 years.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
So 200, 300 years ago, what was your first motorcycle?
I had an old Honda. Man, it was a chain drive too. I can't remember what model it was. It was pretty amazing. It rode.
Was it cruiser style or?
Yeah, old cruiser style,
Yeah.
but with the chain, and so it was rather noisy as you go down the road.
Yeah.
If the chain got loose, you hear it rattling. You're like, oh boy.
And then what have you had since?
Oh, had a Yamaha and a Kawasaki, and then
Kawasaki.
it was probably the worst one I had.
Hence the name.
Yeah, the Honda, I swear, was like a 1970, like a 76 or something. It was really old style spoke wheels on it. So, but the one I got now, I got a Harley Fat Boy. It's a 98, 95th anniversary edition, and you look at some of these bikes. I'm like, man, I'd love to upgrade, but I don't think I'll ever get rid of it because they don't make that style of wheels anymore.
Yeah.
They're solid.
Yep.
The only disadvantage, I mean, they look cool, but the only disadvantage is when you get a strong crosswind.
Oh, really? With the
You can feel it pushing you.
I feel like that was the same thing on my. I have a 2010 with the spoked wheels, and I
Okay.
feel like if the wind picks up pretty good, you can you can feel it pushing you across the road.
That's why I'm glad that like you and we have the like ultra classic, ultra limited,
Yeah.
the heavier tour bikes, because when it comes to wind riding, when I was on my my sport bike, my Yamaha FZ09, that one I felt like it was so light that any gust of wind I was like over one lane. But maybe I just suck at driving in the wind or something like that. I don't have that issue anymore, but
I think the worst I've ever had is, are you familiar with the area from Blackfoot, Idaho to Arco?
Nuh-uh.
And you go past, where they have the National Nuclear Laboratory, Idaho Nuclear Laboratories out there?
I've never even heard of it.
Okay, yeah. So people go work out there, they all glow, and the kids are all born with, defects because all the water's polluted. No, it's serious. They do.
Got a third eye.
Third eyes. No, they do a lot of nuclear experimentation out there, and the Navy's a lot involved for their subs and ships and stuff. But yeah, it's so if you look at the map and you got Blackfoot, and then you go north and Idaho Falls right there, then draw a triangle kind of west, and it's kind of in a point out there.
Gotcha.
And that's where it is. And Arco is a tiny little dot out there in the middle of nowhere, and that's where my brother lives.
oh,
And
what's he doing out there?
he is the postmaster of the Arco post office.
Wow.
The only person that works there.
Yeah. They have 2 paved roads. The rest
They're
of them
really
are,
going places.
Yeah. The rest of it's all gravel roads, seriously. The residential roads are all gravel. The one going through kind of a westerly direction, then you can then go up to Salmon. And then the one you can take and go south, takes you down to Craters of the Moon. Those are paved. Everything else, unpaved roads. So what he calls, I have the Mayberry theme song, like Andy Griffith, But,
So have you ridden your bike out there?
yeah, and anyways, that's what I was getting to with the wind, and there's some bad crosswinds right there because it's open desert.
Yeah.
Ancient volcanoes too. So if you're taking a ride, it's fun to ride on a bike, but look around, you can see volcano cones
Really?
all over the place. And I've counted over 40. So go back
That's
a few million years
wicked.
ago, there's volcanoes all over. But the winds are just
That's about
blowing
when
all
you
the time.
started riding.
Yeah, it did. The lava just barely cooled.
He's like, man, honey, I'm going for a ride. I'm going to go watch some volcanoes there go erupt.
I got to get my last T-Rex ride before he dies on me. Saddle him up.
The raptors got out of the stalls. Got to go round them up.
They're a little fast today.
So what, over the last 200 years, what has been your favorite ride on your motorcycle? Where have you been?
Favorite ride? Oh, man.
Make it a good choice because we'll probably go do this one. So
Okay, I would say the view is spectacular, but I got to find time. The time to do it when you wouldn't have a lot of people would be if you could do the Road to the Sun through Glacier National Park.
Oh, okay.
It's an amazing road, but it's so crowded in the summer. I mean, they actually have
Yes.
kind of like they do in national parks. They have an entry system, but even then, you got so many people that from all over the world. But it's an amazing, twisted, fun road. But what else is fun around here local that I haven't done?
Well, while you think about it,
Yeah.
I just with that comment you made about going and there's always people.
Yeah.
I want to go ride all these amazing rides out at Sturgis, but from what I hear, it's like, man, it's a cluster just to get on the roads, and
Yeah.
then if somebody wrecks and you got like a whole train of people, and then I was like listening to another podcast, and they said that the best time to go was just barely off season,
Yeah, I
and
went
then
up
you
there
can get
in
whatever you want.
April of last year, and it was perfect. Nobody's up there, and we could see everything. But be prepared for snow in Wyoming.
no kidding.
No.
I mean that could be in July too. So
My horse story there is I took my son John. You know John?
Yeah. Your
So-
youngest, right?
Yeah. So he and I were going to go out to Mount Rushmore,
Okay.
and then catch Sturgis and Devil's Tower and all that. Right. We got going, and we got stuck in a blizzard. Forced off the freeway, made it to Rock Springs, and we were
boy.
stuck for 4 days.
oh
Freeways were closed, highways were closed, nowhere to go. They actually had the barricades down. You could not leave
my
for
goodness,
4 days
crazy.
in April. So
that's horrible.
yeah, so it'd be a good time to ride if you can make it to South Dakota.
It's one thing if it's in the middle of winter and that happens, but to be in the middle
Yeah.
of like
Spring.
coming out of spring and heading towards summer, that's crazy.
I think I was gonna say I think a fun ride that I enjoyed going is if you go up Logan Canyon, to the summit, and then go over towards Woodruff and Randolph, and then come over Monte Cristo.
Monte
And-
Cristo, yes, that is
and
one I want to hit.
If you come over Monte Cristo right about sunset, and you get the Purple Mountains Majesty and all that, it's gorgeous
That'd be
ride.
cool.
And then-
Yeah, we're actually, as a group, we're making our way out to Bear Lake in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Countdown. But we're heading out north over through Liberty, or we're going through Preston over to Liberty,
Okay.
and then we'll come into Garden City, and then the following day we're going to make a trip around the lake.
Okay, well, if you want to do really crazy, I did this one time too. It's not recommended on a road bike. But no, I was really bored one day and I decided to do it. You know the Avon Pass?
Yes, between Avon and
Liberty and Ogden Valley right there?
Yeah. Huntsville and everything.
Yeah,
over
it's
there.
nice rocky dirt road.
You went on that
I
on your
took it on
bike?
my street bike, yeah.
No, you didn't.
I did. I was
With
gonna-
that bike?
Yeah, that bike.
Oh my god.
I was getting passed and getting the strangest looks from all these, off-road bikes and the ATVs side by side. People were passing me. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Well, no wonder you're wondering where you can get your forks redone at. That's not road debris. That's a freaking dirt path.
it was horrible. I thought I'd pop a tire, and then I'd be like, "Now what am I going to do?"
Yeah, you'd have been screwed.
So, hey, I do have a question for you guys.
Hit
This
it.
is a good question. So, in July, I'll get a background real quick. In July, I just brought, you know Casey, my daughter Casey?
Yeah.
So her and her husband just moved back from Alaska. And so I flew up there and I drove their truck back following them. And we took the Alaska Highway. Amazing scenery, amazing country. I see
believe
bikes all the time.
So
But,
you came through Canada
yeah, we
on their truck?
in their truck.
Okay.
Yeah, so we left, they were in Palmer, Wasilla, Alaska area. It's outside of Anchorage. And then we went up, spent a day and a half in Denali National Park. Went out up, followed the road on up to Anchorage, and then over to the in Anchorage, Fairbanks, and then the North Pole. So we've been to the North Pole.
There you go.
And,
Did you find Santa there?
Yeah, he was. He's there year round. You can sit on his lap and make a wish. And I have a certificate that I
Sean
bought.
likes sitting on Santa's lap.
I do. Keep a secret. This ain't going anywhere.
This is, no one listens to
Don't
this.
ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
No, I bought a certificate. I own 1 square inch of the North Pole.
Wow.
Hey, there you go.
Lord Sean Platt.
That's right. I domain of my 1 inch.
What are you going to build there?
I got to go back and buy about 10 more so I can put a water bottle on it or something. No, but it's an amazing scenery. So from there you come down, you drop down into Canada, and you go across the Yukon Territory, and then British Columbia, and those mountains are just
Oh, they're beautiful.
amazing, and a lot of wildlife. But the roads are super bad because they're roller coaster ride because of the tundra. It thaws and freezes, and
Right, it just
and so
destroys
it
anything,
destroys it.
yeah.
So you can't get high speeds up there. But I passed quite a few bikers on there. And I'm like, I haven't seen one motorcycle repair shop there. I haven't seen one tire shop anywhere.
You get one flat, you're toasted.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I mean, you're literally between nowhere and nowhere.
Yeah.
And they're little tiny towns that would stop for an RV park, and there's no service. We had to have some issue with their little RV, and there was no way. Luckily, we figured it out, and it was okay. We got running. But if you have a true emergency, what are you going to do? And you don't have cell phone service either.
Right. That's why I was like, man, if I went on a trip like that, like Ewan McGregor and his buddy do when they do the long way around or the long way up or whatever,
Right.
you would have to have like a satellite phone that can get service
That makes sense.
anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I wouldn't want to go. I like riding in Utah because I'm afraid to go out and get lost or have that kind of issue because that's going to be one, like expensive and getting, because like, 9 times out of 10 I'm riding on weekends or holidays or whatever, and so people are going to be closed or it's going to be more expensive to get your bike fixed.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, with my bike, you can just do a plug kit and get limp on by to the next place. But like you said, you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
There's nowhere
there
to
was
go.
literally nowhere. And so our trip was about 3,200 miles one way.
Dang.
So, if you're going roughly 3,000 miles and you go north, and Edmonton will be your last big city in Canada, that'd probably be your last spot to get supplies and a tire.
Anything.
But I mean, look at it this way: you don't see any bikes with a spare tire.
No.
And have you guys ever had a flat when you're riding?
I had one back in July.
Okay, what happened? It's a scary feeling, isn't it?
So
Well, he lucked out.
yeah,
Okay.
luckily I lucked out, and I didn't actually know that I had a flat until I got to work,
Oh,
and it was flat, and so I had one of those little roofing nails in it, so I had the little orange washer.
oh.
And I
At
was
least
like,
you can see it. Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna leave it in there because that's actually probably what's holding the air in the tire.
Right.
So I filled it up to 65 psi, which is not recommended, and ripped it home.
You should have like taped over that thing to make sure it didn't pop out on your way back.
You can see, oh man, you're lucky. I've had one, but I was coming out at Cove area up in Cache Valley, and I must have hit I was riding on a dirt road, but it was the old Kawasaki. But I must have hit something on sidewall, and I didn't know. And I'm also like this, and all of a sudden, I'm doing 20 miles an hour. Yeah, it starts throwing you all over the place. And if I'd have been going, over 40, I would have been flying.
Shocked.
Yeah, and so it's kind of in the back of my mind all this time. It's like, what if you blow a tire and you're doing 70 down the freeway or something like that? And then too, if you're, even if they say you're down Moab or, around in the West Desert or somewhere like that, what do you do?
Mm-hmm. And one, so you bring up tires, but there's a lot worse things to happen than just tires.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what if your engine just goes kaput?
Your
Then
engine seizes.
You're done.
Locks up.
You might as well just leave that bike on the side of the road and go home.
Break a belt.
Stick the old thumb out.
I was going to say,
right.
how you getting home is the question.
Stick your old thumb out. Wait
That's
for
right.
hope for the next guy that's going across country.
For free, put a for free sign on it.
Because, good luck getting that thing back. Like, say you were in between those two,
Right.
between Canada and U.S., and that's a whole other aspect.
Well,
is
yeah.
you're stuck in another country.
So Fairbanks I stopped at the Harley shop there and got well, here you go. Look, I'm in one from Wasilla, Alaska.
There you go.
But Fairbanks is what they call the northernmost Harley shop. So that's your northernmost place to get parts or tire. And so between Fairbanks and Edmonton, you've got, 2,000 miles, somewhere in there. And if you need something, what do you do? I mean, there's a lot of people riding their enduros, and I can see that because, but you need it for the road. But, I mean, that was in the back of my mind, honestly. I thought that'd be the Alaska Highway, open road.
It'd be fun.
I've taken that off the bucket list right now.
The other thing is, how do you fix the tire if you blow out a tire?
Right.
Because I tried to pull the tire off my wheel.
Mm-hmm.
They're so thick and so sturdy. You have to have a tool to be able to do anything. It's not like your normal bike tire where you can just go in with a screwdriver and pop it off and And mine apparently has a limited quantity tube in it. Come to find out, so the guy at
you need to switch over to a.
I need to go tubeless because
tubeless, not airless.
If I
no, who needs air?
Air, yeah, no, you get the solid run flat tire.
Who knows? But the guy at Golden Spike told me buy an extra tube because we don't know how many more of these we're getting.
Is it because the wheel's different now than it was 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Do they just not make that size inner tube
That's
anymore?
what I'm guessing because I guess your bike's got a 16 or an 18-inch wheel. All these other bikes have 16 and 18-inch wheels. Mine's a 17.
Oh, it's an odd size.
It's an odd size.
Is that just 2010?
I'm guessing. But he said, buy another tube because you don't know what's going to happen and you don't know if we're going to have any stock.
Gotcha.
So,
Hey, there you go. See, hey, I just thought of you guys I got a topic for your podcast, emergency preparedness for long road trips.
That's brilliant.
I think that we will because Zach does one thing that I really like. He has these fuel reserve things that go in his tour pack.
Yeah,
and his
so
tour bag.
they build specific tour pack gas cans, and they slide
No
into
way.
the back part of your tour pack, or your saddle bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
Fit
they're
right
out of the
into-
way, and you have all your space in your saddle bag.
And how much does it carry?
And it's got a gallon. So if you
Which
run
can
out,
get you somewhere.
Oh,
yeah, that's. You got a 6-gallon tank. You have 2 of those in there. That's 2 gallons. You're getting somewhere.
Well, see that mine is so old. Mine's a split tank, and I don't have a
really?
fuel gauge on it.
Oh,
So I reset.
You can get those ones that like because you have the caps on the top of the
Yeah,
tank,
I got
right?
2 caps on it. Yeah.
Because I've seen those ones that it's like a fuel gauge on the cap, like they're battery powered fuel gauges.
Oh, I might need to get that.
Because I don't know, don't quote me. Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn that there was a way because I know that that was a common thing that they just didn't have fuel gauge. But
I bet they came up with something.
It's got it something. So all I was doing is I just hit and reset my tripometer and make sure about every 100 miles I'd fill it up.
Yeah.
But now that light's burned out and I can't even see that. I'm like, so I'm like, I better pull over. Just pull it up, whatever. But you had to go. It's riding by your gut feeling.
Right.
Have you ever ran out of gas?
No, because I got a reserve switch on it.
okay.
But I have ran it down there where it coughed and sputtered, and then I switched to reserve and just.
Then you know
Yeah.
you have to go refill.
I ran out. I was
Really?
heading down to Nephi,
Oh.
and luckily I ran out on the off ramp to the gas station. So
You were right
I
there.
just kind of just flew through the stop sign and just turned
Coasted
into
in.
the gas station because I'm like, if I'm stopping, I have to push it, and I don't want to push it.
Yeah.
So
Oh man, we've talked. So his cousin has a YouTube channel where they take random cars,
Okay.
and they just drive them till they're empty, and then they see how far past empty that they'll go.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then we thought it'd be funny if we took the bikes and we all went riding them,
See how
tried
far you can
to
go.
empty them, and then we would have like a scavenger hunt we'd have to do in the meantime, and we'd have to get somebody to pull us off the side of the road to get gas for our bike. And
Yeah, that's when you need a trail truck or trail vehicle, trail tanker, just-
right.
because that's what they do is like they run their cars out and then they sit on the side of the road, see how quickly somebody helps them, and then they give them like a gift card for helping them.
Okay, that's pretty
So,
cool.
but we thought it'd
That's
be
cool.
funny to take the bikes out,
Yeah.
and see do this competition between us all because we all ride.
That would be fun.
And then
I'll do it
then
with
you
you.
can see how far your style of bike with your tank goes. Then you can take the guesswork out of it. How far can I go? Oh, I can go 120 miles, and then I'm done.
Don't risk it. Don't risk
Hey,
it for
if
the
you guys do
biscuit.
that, let me know because I need to do it or I can't even see my odometer on my bike anymore. I just guess.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'll do it for science.
Yep.
Besides, in my own life.
We'll definitely get you in there.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate it. Thanks. It's
It's
fun.
been fun catching up, and I'm sure we'll have to have you on.
That sounds
another
good. Love
time.
to. So,
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
And we're back with our last guest of the day.
The last?
The last.
Last time it was the legend, now I'm the last.
Well, you are the last legend.
The last legend. Well, granted, we might have. I told Nate to come on by. That's if
Okay.
we can grab him before he leaves.
That's
but
awesome. Yeah, you should have Nate come on board for sure. He's been very instrumental in helping out with the last 2 years. They've been a major sponsor. In fact, the music you can maybe hear in the background is sponsored by Turn Together. They give us a little bit larger sponsorship, and I use that money towards not only going to the Children's Justice Center, but also go towards paying for the band.
Yeah.
So his sponsorship's extremely helpful for sure.
how's it been going this year?
You know what?
Pretty smooth sailing.
This is extremely the best smoothly selling one I've ever had.
Really?
Yes, and I think one thing that's nice about it is I've kind of set back. I remember telling you last time that there's a lot of people that are very instrumental in making this thing a wonderful success, and I'm now spending some time with those people. So it's an honor to sit right here in front of you two gentlemen and talk about another one of my passions is this motorcycle show. But it's been nice. Weather's been very cooperative, extremely cooperative. We've had a little bit less numbers, I think, maybe because the weather is too nice.
Right.
If I had a choice, whether coming and sitting on Main Street or riding, I think I would choose to go for a nice ride myself. In fact, I will be, not right after this, but possibly tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I did notice that there were quite a few bikes that parked outside of our zone here.
Yes.
And so I'm going to guess that those are people that they wanted to come see, but they also wanted to go ride.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think, as the word gets out every year, I get a lot of repeats, but I see a lot of new faces too. And I think that's wonderful. And they start to fill it out. And, it's kind of a different process than most bikes shows would be. We're right here on Main Street and it's a free entry. Normally you have to pay to get in, but it's a free entry to get in. And the spectators are free as well.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's just where I need it to be. I mean, everybody's having a lot of fun time, and we've raised some money. I don't know if we've made our goal yet, but we might have made our goal because we have a lot of generous donations that come in silently. We take a lot of cash and Venmo and credit cards today, but there's several thousands that come in, so that makes me happy as well.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Yep. You guys probably don't get told this thanks very much, but this is new for us, this podcast. I think this should be a yearly thing, and I
We'd
want
like
that.
it to be.
I like that, and we've tried to make some decisions where we're going to set you up.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a process at the beginning.
It was. But as everything, just like this thing started out 25 years ago, I had 55 bikes, and now we're up to, I would imagine, 250 or so, and that's just about right. Not all bikes are the same, for sure, so you can certainly look at every one of them. It's just almost like people. I love watching people stroll and just pick and choose, and if they were wanting to buy a bike, this is like a car lot for them.
No kidding.
Yeah, for sure. How have you guys been doing about the show? You've enjoyed it? And
It's been really good. We've had actually a really good turnout, and I mean, we've enjoyed just having the opportunity to be out here and to do this. It's been great.
You guys have like a similar success story as I have. You start out just maybe a passion and what we call it last time was not a passion.
Obsession.
Obsession.
Yeah, obsession.
Yeah, we got into that. You guys have this, same obsession, and watching your podcast grow and grow, and over 1,000 viewers now, right?
Well, yeah, overall, yeah.
Yes.
I think on average we're between 50 and 60 per episode, and then they just keep climbing after that, over time. So some episodes are over 100, and some are working their way towards it. But it's awesome to see, like, all these people. There's people taking pictures as they walk by, and so hopefully being at an event like this, it helps spread the word for people to come, but also to see what we do as a Zach and I's podcast.
I think it's awesome that we have it located in our city, Brigham City.
Yeah.
Right here. I mean, a lot of times podcasts are large cities and larger populations, but here we are right here in Brigham.
Yeah.
And most people probably don't know how much wonderful riding we have here in Box Elder County. One of the things I wanted to keep it a little hidden gem and secret, but I love sharing it because every time I see a bike out on the road, I just know what they're feeling as I ride through these towns of streets of the greater Brigham City area.
Yeah.
So that's been nice. I've really been happy to have you guys here. It's I think getting started with you just a couple of weeks ago, literally that's all it was, and your guys' support. I looked in last year's records, saw both Zach and Jeremy's.
There we were.
Right there. Their liability slips right together.
Yes, we were.
Yep, there they are.
We had our bikes right next to each other. And
This year I was unloading stuff down where we thought we were going to be, and then so we're not next to each other, but we're pretty close.
Yep.
I'm glad we were able to find out or figure out something over here. Shout out to Christy at Hallmark,
Yes.
who was my wife's boss, and so I came over.
yes.
I'm like, hey, could you spot us some electricity?
That's awesome because I don't know what it'd been like if we had been too close to that.
I don't know if
band.
we could have been able to get very much done.
I'm happy to be sitting here with you. I've sat down quite a bit today and got a chance to talk with people, and it's my chance to tell them thank you too.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just one event that one person does. I used to do a lot of it on my own. I did it on my own time, my own way, but it's gotten so much larger, and I realize that there's people out there that do wonderful jobs.
Yeah.
And I have a group, about 20, no, I think we're up to 30 volunteers now.
Wow.
To
That's
put on
awesome.
this event. today was.
Is that including like Baca and all them that help
That
out
doesn't
with that?
include Baca.
Oh, so they're like,
and
it's even bigger than that.
Yeah, it's even bigger than that. And so we made a remarkable setup time today.
Oh, yeah, it was quick.
We did quick, and again, that's all the people that are. They just know what their jobs are, and I don't even worry about them. The last year's winner just walked right by me. Right here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See, that's what it's like. You know, I remember his bike from last year that he won. I noticed it's not here today. So
what the heck, man?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing. You just never know what people's got going on. You know, it's a wonderful time of year. I think.
Yeah.
Coming to Peach Days or motorcycle show or what? You know, there's been some rides too. That might have affected our numbers today, but I'm right where I'm at, where we need to be.
Yeah,
I really did. It's not the idea of making it bigger. I mean, we're taking 3/4 of Main Street, Brigham City right now.
No kidding.
And I can't imagine if we had, double this. I don't know if it'd be fun, but we're making it better and better with the Brigham Beer competition.
Yeah.
You guys look around and you see about 75% of these men have beards.
Right.
And it's another nice way. That's been helpful in gaining more of our donations towards the Children's Justice Center. It's all a donation. It's all really just bragging rights, by the way.
Right.
I love it. I mean, there's some bikes out here I know have over a $60,000 price tag on them, and one or two of them won. But there's another one that actually has a for sale sign on his bike. It's $8,800 on his bike, and he won. He won.
Oh, really?
So he's going to be able
he's
to.
got a Sportster
he's
right
got a
over there.
Sportster right there. Yep.
That's awesome.
A cafe racer style looking Sportser.
There you go.
So that's what I think I wanted to encourage people to come up, because you all have an opportunity to win.
Yeah.
Because it's all just some personal preferences. One of them selected because of the color. One of them selected because it had cool stitching on it, and it's just nice. Like I said, that one that's $8,800. He's going to sell that bike. Maybe now
Might change his mind.
Might change his mind, but he's going to now sell his bike with I can't remember what category he won, but he's won. He won a category, so maybe his bike will be $9,000.
Right.
Now. Who knows? Yeah.
And the biggest thing is that you don't know if you're going to win if you don't put it in. You know?
Yeah, you really
The
don't.
only way to actually try to win is by coming and participating and putting your bike in.
And Jeremy, you mentioned last time and I loved hearing this, that I always knew it, but I didn't know if anybody recognized it. This is the best parking lot there is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The band member just said, I walked 3 blocks to get here. And, you don't. You ride in, park, and you ride out. You don't have to walk blocks.
Well, we had a little disconnect on our pop-up, and it was over at the car show with my in-laws. And so we walked all the way down there and then brought back this pop-up to here. So
have you guys interviewed the UMF riders yet? They're having a wonderful toy run.
No,
they're
I haven't
26th year too. And every year I've been announcing this.
Really?
You want to go on mic for a minute?
I can if you'd like.
Yeah, come on and pop a beer real quick.
You know what? This is so important. UMF riders have been with me almost as long as I've had the show as well, and they've got a 26th year annual toy run that they're doing. And so supports primary children. So I love it when we're lining all up with veterans and first responders and children, and so I'm happy to have UMF. So. Let me exit kindly out of the way here. I'm getting ready to do awards.
Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'd like to got here a lot sooner, but as things go, I'm happy.
Busy day.
Controlled chaos.
Yep,
exactly.
But I'm going to go get ready for the awards at 5. So
we'll be ready
UMF.
for that chill up and for the announcements.
Yes, so let's let UMF talk a little bit about the toy run and maybe get some people interested in that.
Perfect.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Kelly.
you very much,
Come have a
Jeremy. Zach,
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you so much. I got a little swag for you guys as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
He's holding on to it for us.
Slide on in here.
Can I keep that one?
Yes,
That's my last one.
Yep.
How are you guys today?
Good.
Good,
How
how
you
are
doing?
you?
I'm all right.
Just a little heads up. These record right out the front, so just
Okay.
right in.
Right
give
into
it,
the front.
Give it a kiss.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
but give us a rundown of this toy run.
Okay, so it's 26th annual You're Not Forgotten Toy Run for Primary Children's. All proceeds go to Primary Children's.
Fantastic.
We are raffling off a 2024 Road Glide.
Holy crap!
We've got 500 tickets for sale for that. They're $100 a pop.
There you
We
go.
also are raffling off a $1,000 gift card to Sportsman's Warehouse. $10 a ticket for that one. We just had donated, super cool, had a guitar donated that was signed at Country Fan Fest 4 years ago.
Oh, really?
Toby Keese on it. It will be auctioned off at the hospital that day.
That's fantastic.
This is a great event. It's really cool. There's usually a pretty good turnout for bikes. We bring kids out from the hospital and they get involved. It's a neat deal. We're always looking for toy donations. If you're interested in it, this is on the 21st of September this month, and it's kickstands up at 10 o'clock, starting at Salt Lake Harley-Davidson.
There you go.
Awesome.
So what can people do? Can they just bring toys to the event? and
Absolutely.
then that's where
Unopened,
donations-
unused toys. No stuffed animals, obviously, but they do allow the plushies. So if you're a fan of those, or you can get those are great, and they go over well. Really, it's toys. We'll have raffles going. Cash donations are always welcome. Come ride it and support the event. It's a big deal for us. We enjoy it.
That's awesome. So what have you done over the last 26 years with this event? What does the money go towards? Does it just go towards toys, or does it go towards treatments? Or?
So that's kind of the cool thing about it is we reserve the money a little bit, and we keep it in an account for primaries. They'll call us, say it's Halloween, right? We got Halloween coming up. They're going to call us and say, hey, we're down on costumes. Go get us some costumes. We'll go spend 10 grand. We'll buy the store out. Then we'll take every kid a costume.
That's so
awesome.
cool.
That's kind of the coolest part about it is that we get to reserve that stuff a little bit and go get stuff for them. We got them iPads. We've got them, costumes and Christmas presents and blankets and all that stuff over the last years. It's a phenomenal.
It's really
event.
just things to, brighten somebody's life.
And that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
That's what the whole thing's about. I joined the UMF 5 years ago, and the whole reason I joined this group is because of this run. I want to be part of something bigger and better than me.
Yep.
There you go.
That's one way to do it right there.
And it really is, man. It has done amazing things.
That's
so
awesome.
where can people find your guys' information? If
So
they
you'll
wanna
find
be
us on
part of
Facebook
something?
on the You're Not Forgotten Toy Run. We're all over Facebook.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And is there something that, like, people? How do people become part of your foundation?
That's a whole nother deal.
Sounds like we're gonna have to have you back on.
Maybe. It's a multi-year process to get in. It just takes time. You have to get to know the people and work with them, and really but if you want to just get involved and you want to be a part of it, show up.
Cool.
Come support the kids. Come support the event. Donate. Those are the best ways, unless you're wanting to get in and ride with the club all the time and spend time going out and doing.
Okay.
And we do a lot of that. I'm one of the bigger guys as far as miles go a year. I stack a lot of miles on, and I visit a lot of different states, and the amount of amazing people I get to meet by doing it is phenomenal. I have brothers in every state in the union.
That's
There you
super cool.
It's awesome.
Well, thank you for sharing that. We're hoping that we can get as much information out of this as we can. We're trying to promote as many Utah events as possible so that people from all over can be part of something better,
That
bigger
makes
than
me
themselves.
really excited you guys are doing that. It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, we're nothing crazy big yet,
It doesn't
but
need
we're
to be.
working on it.
It doesn't need to be. You guys are getting the word out, and you're getting good news out.
Yeah.
Right? So again, it is the 21st of September. Kickstands up at 10, Salt Lake Harley-Davidson.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.